Hey, it's Mr. Johns. Welcome back to American Truck Simulator. Our job today is a run from Missoula to Bozeman, Montana. And we're going to take this flatbed trailer with this tractor over to Bozeman today. Backing up, we're going to hook this thing up. You'll notice that I switched back from my Coca-Cola themed Kenworth to back to my yellow and chrome. Installed a new horn on the top. I think that's about it. I think I put on some chrome door handles. And I chromed the outside mirrors. So instead of black. So just going with the yellow and chrome look for now. We're going to pull this thing out and head towards Bozeman. A little tight curve there, and now we're on the freeway. One thing I want to point out here is that there's a lane closure, so you get a couple notifications that hey, don't go this way. And I'm real tempted to go there, and I've talked about that in previous videos, that you don't get dinged for it. And I'm trying to be a better driver. I am really trying to treat this like a realistic driving game. But I want to point out that the detour that they send me on, I could easily have done a U-turn right here in this parking lot on the right. But instead, the GPS sends me on this hour-and-a-half long detour. So right there on the right side, there's a huge parking lot. For some reason, the GPS didn't give me the option just to go turn around. And maybe... Well, you'll see. So there had to have been better places to turn around, but I guess the GPS just looks for the nearest road. So right here, the road's blocked, and so I'm sent up this dirt road, and look at the GPS on the right there above my head. It is a twisty, turny, off-road, and I don't see the red flag like this. I don't see the destination where I'm supposed to drop this off, but I'm starting to think, well, this makes total sense. Maybe this is Bozeman. Maybe this is where they want the tractor. It makes total sense, but I'm looking at the GPS time, and it says I'm still 226 miles away, 4 hours and 4 minutes. And by the way, I was 3 hours and 18 minutes before that road closure. So they've just sent me on this hour-long, twisty, curvy detour. And not a lot of room on this road. I've got to really be careful. I don't clip any trees. Have to go out wide on each corner, as you can see. So what I do is I go to the far outside of the curve. Like right here, I'll go touch left side. Didn't have to go all the way, but that helps the back end of your trailer make that curve without falling off the road or clipping anything. So I always want to go outside wide and then cut in. So still have a long ways to go. To me, I'm like, well, am I supposed to be just turning around? I'm looking at the green arrows, and I am on the right path. So at this point, I'm trusting the GPS, and I think the lesson from this video is maybe I shouldn't always trust the GPS, and that's a real-life lesson as well. It's always good to have a backup plan, have a map, also use your common sense. So, I hit a tree there. So that corner, I did not do what I was talking about. I took that one a little bit too wide. I had to back up just a bit. Did a little bit of damage to the truck. I don't think that'll be the last damage I do to the truck. I thought about installing a bigger bumper guard because I tend to bump into things or push things around sometimes. So I'll consider that. So in hindsight, I think I should just run the barricade and continued on. Usually it's just a crash and they block. They block the whole freeway for a crash that's in one lane. So seems a little silly, but I am trying to do the right thing. If it's closed, it's closed. There were barricades. I went back and looked. So it would not have been legal to do that. So, I've got to sleep with myself at night. I've got to have peace of mind that I did the right thing, even though it's just a video game. But I am questioning at this point, as I'm up in these mountains, taking this tractor up to this, I guess, construction site. And I'm hoping this is where they want it. And I'm thinking, oh, here we go. This is the drop-off spot. So, well, guess what? That's not a red arrow. That is just a place to pick up additional jobs, which I don't want or need at this point. I've got a job. So, okay. So we're going to continue down the mountain. I just have never seen a detour like this before. If you play the game, have you? Let me know in the comments below. It just seems a bit silly. There had to have been a better way. And then, of course, I'm wondering, well, where will it take me now? Like, once I get down this mountain and I've got 3 hours and 49 minutes to go, I'm also worried now that I'm going to be late. I don't want a late penalty. I haven't had one in the last 3 or 4 jobs, which has been great. But as I'm picturing that freeway blockage, I don't know how I would have skipped it otherwise. So I just don't know the area at all. So this section I did not speed up just because I wanted to show you just how long the the detour actually is, keeping in mind that the time is still sped up quite a bit, in real time, but driving regular speed here, going 36 down a mountain. What's funny is it shows me the speed limit 65, so that's obviously not correct. I did some damage there. I'm not sure what I hit, but 1% damage. Not sure if I ran over something. I am kind of hauling down this mountain. 30 is probably a little fast for some of these corners, but I'm a little bit done with it, ready to get back on the freeway and get this job done. So that's where I entered. I'm back down to that split. Oh, careful. Oof, almost hit that tree. What you don't know is I'm watching a soccer game. If you see once in a while you see my head look to the left, right there. I'm watching a soccer game, so I am a distracted driver. And there are many cases in my videos where I am distracted and I go off the road, and it's really just a great example of how when you drive, you should just drive. So even though this is just a game, but I'll reach over to change my view or to press cruise control, and I'll go 5 feet off the road. So that's like leaning over to change the radio station or to look at your phone, which of course you're not supposed to do, and for good reason. So I think, and we're gonna go ahead and speed this back up again. Now that we're on pavement, we're gonna get back to the job at hand. What I'm going to pay attention to here is, was there a place I could have, like right there, that's that huge gas station parking lot. I could have easily have done a U-turn, because it looks like I'm just going back to another on-ramp. I don't understand. So somewhere over there on the right, the freeway was blocked. Right here, like over here on the right. But this is another on-ramp right here. I don't know. I can't say, but GPS sent me where it sent me. So we're now in Butte. We're going to speed this up quite a bit, not bore you with all the driving. So we're going from Butte to Bozeman. And now that we're back on pavement, it's a pretty smooth drive. As smooth as it can be with my joystick. Trying my best to get better at steering with a little joystick. But I'm most comfortable with the joystick, so I'm going to stick with that and not switch to my steering wheel or anything like that. So now we slide into Bozeman, and that is pretty sure where this thing is dropped off. It does say now 10 minutes. We're 3 miles away, 10 minutes, so we'll go ahead and just speed her up all the way to the end. So you can see the red flag now on my GPS map, so we know the finish is coming. And this is, you'll start seeing signs here and there to Yellowstone because we are in that part of the world. And I'm hoping maybe we'll get a chance to go by or through Yellowstone. Most trucking is not sent around through Yellowstone. It bypasses. So here we'll check in at Plaster & Sons. We've worked for them before. We're going to go ahead and take the 40 experience point difficult parking. And I will humble myself here, as my parking is not always exceptional. It's a process. So, but I include this in the video just to show that this is part of the game. And I think it's maybe one of the most important parts of the game. The driving itself is simple. The hooking up is simple. You just back up and press a button. Whereas here, this is probably the most difficult thing in the game. And it is, I think, worth going for the extra, the extra credit, the highest XP. That's teacher talk, extra credit. I'm going for extra credit. Just trying to, and it's dark. I can't really see. Once you press reverse, you're right there. Your backup lights come on, which is pretty handy. There's even a bright backup light that pops up on this to help you see, which is super cool. So it's dark. So you're delivering at nighttime. It's pretty difficult. I guess on the positive, there's not a bunch of people standing around watching me try to park this thing. I come really close to this guy's truck, so I'm trying to work my way around. Just way more difficult in the dark. You just can't really see much. So, but what I need to do is back that trailer around that building and stick it in the corner. So the angle is super important, and I've got to always, I just back up slowly as I turn my joystick just to see what the trailer is doing. It's almost always the opposite of what I think it should do. So that's why I don't just gun it. Just do a little bit first, and then once you're sure, apply just a little bit more accelerator. At this point, I'm just not confident I can clear that truck. It's close. So I'm just rethinking things just a little bit here. Yeah, I'm trying to concentrate. I'm also trying to find, not sure what I'm looking at the job, just seeing if I'm on time. But then I'm like, I should just park it. So, all right. I look completely confused in the video. I'm not sure what I'm not really sure. This audio is after the fact. I'm not really sure what I was trying to do or what I was looking for. But here I am going to attempt to just cruise next to this car. And I should be able to just, I should have cranked it right there. I want to really tuck it in tight. And I didn't. I was so close to that car, but I should have kept cranking it. As soon as I cleared that pallet of whatever, I should have cranked it. So we're going to pull it forward and just give it a different angle. What I need to do is get the back end of the trailer close to that pallet, right next to that white building, and tuck that trailer right there. And I know, and then there's a pallet on this side now that is too close. So that limits what I can do with my truck. So I go around those pallets and then crank. But as you can see, I'm headed towards those two porta potties. And I'm like, yeah. And there are people over there watching. There's some people working. I'm like, see, they're working. You can actually, I like how they're actually moving in this game. They're not just little figures that are standing there. They're actually moving, animated, which is great. So really, kind of having a hard time. Should not be this difficult. I just want to really crank it right around that trailer, that little white house, that white building. But hey, you only learn by doing. So right here, crank it, and that will tuck that around that corner. Yes, there we go. I'm plenty far from the pallets on both sides now, and all I have to do now, straighten it out a little bit. Don't want a jackknife, and just slide it back in there. So yeah, looking pretty good. Still a little bit close to this this stack of looks like plywood, but there we go. Now we just need to turn it. We need to turn it. Need to turn it. And it keeps giving you these little pop-ups. Are you sure? You want to just, you can just bypass it. If you really want to give up, you can still give up. I like that. But once I'm this close, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to take those 40 experience points and run. So, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to have kind of all your wheels kind of close to that white rectangle. But I want to get to the point where I can pretty much just slide it right where it needs to be. That's what they expect when they hire you. So I'm still a little bit off here with my truck, but I think I can make it work right here. So green is what you want. Whoop, a little too far back. Make sure you don't do that. I've done that before and it doesn't count it. So make sure it's green, and then you can disconnect. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. We'll catch you next time. For now, Mr. Johns is out.